Wake Forest week. Continue to get you ready for the Orange and the Demon Deacons this Saturday in the Dome. Brian Higgins here, across town in the football wing. Nykeim Johnson. And Nykeim, I'm kind of starting with this with everybody this week. The Liberty loss was so tough. Obviously still a loss this week to Clemson, but how different was the vibe in the locker room this week afterwards and the way you guys came out of it with that great effort you put on the field against the number one team in the country?
I mean, everything just comes down to execution. I mean, guys definitely don't want to take a loss that we took, even taking a loss to Clemson. We always try to aim for winning every single game, but, guys fall hard and guys definitely feel good about themselves, knowing that they can play at a high level, so that making sure we can just keep playing like that the coming weeks.
Take me down to the sideline. It's midway through the third quarter. I mean, you guys were in a big hole early in the game, down 17-0. Come back. You got yourselves the ball a couple times in a one-score game. What's the sense of the sideline at that point in the game?
Oh, guys were hyped. It's just always come back down to execution, man. We just got to make sure we get our jobs done always.
You certainly did it in a big way a couple times during the game when you had the long touchdown, 83 yards, and you had the 60-plus yard run that you had. How important are these big plays for you this year? We talked a few weeks ago about how you had the tough year last year, but you're putting it out there in a big way this year. What's it like for you to make these game-changing plays?
Man, it just comes down to me just making the play whenever my number is called, man. I'm always waiting for opportunity at any point in the game. You never know when the momentum's going to swing, and especially coming your way. So, I'm just always trying to make sure I stay ready and locked in so I can make sure I can execute every time the ball comes my way.
You were very open with me a couple weeks ago about how tough last year was on you mentally. You were banged up a little bit, but it's one of those things where you're hurt but you're not injured, right? You played all 12 games last year and forced your way through it. How tough is that on the mind, I guess, to push through and get yourself on the field? And how much clearer do you feel on the field this year?
Oh, man, it's definitely tough. When you go through anything, it's just like a small trial. You just got to make sure you don't look at it as a loss. You make sure you take it as a lesson, just trying to keep progressing and moving forward. I mean, with anything else just been said, I just had to make sure I was focused. And this year, that's my main focus, is just making sure I'm staying mentally strong and locked in at all times. When you go through things, you just got to make sure you find a way to pull yourself together. So
I'd say in so many ways, right, it's obvious. I mean, whether it works or not, what you have to do to train your body. I mean, you get in the gym, you do all the stuff you need to do with the trainers, and you do all that. How different is it, I guess, to get your mind right to be on the field? That's not as obvious, I guess, in the ways you can attack it.
Oh, yeah, that takes a lot, though. I mean, it takes your surroundings, everything that goes on in your every single day life. I mean, you just got to find that niche, and you got to lock in on something that's going to be able to keep your mind together, whether that's family, your coaches, anybody around you. It's just you got to try to find that one thing that's going to be able to make you stay focused, really.
No, it's good to see it working for you this year for sure, as you're making big play after big play. Already more than 40 yards this year for Nykeim. Another guy in your room that's really come on here of late is Anthony Queeley. We saw him catch his first career touchdown in the Liberty game. He was the most targeted guy this last week against Clemson. What stood out to you about his development here of late?
Oh, man, AQ's he's a great guy. I mean, he always locked in, and I just like his mentality. When you got a guy around you that's the workhorse, you can't beat that. Hard work always beat talent. So he works every day at his craft, and he just waiting for his opportunity. He getting his opportunities now, so he's just showing you guys what y'all didn't know about him.
I still remember, I mean, this is going back to training camp his freshman year, so this is more than 2 years ago now. I'm like, all right, this guy looks like he's got something. He's catching every ball coming his way, but at the same time, there's the freshman mistakes that are harder to pick out that he had to work his way through. Did you see it then that this guy was going to be a player at some point?
Oh, I seen him when I seen him come up for camp before he even got on campus. I seen him, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a explosive guy. He's gonna make some plays. I already knew that.
Hey,
you could just tell by his demeanor.
And it's happening now. Yeah, he takes it seriously, doesn't he? He works hard out there, huh?
For sure.
All right, Nykeim, this is not really a question for now, but this is I'd say it's your senior year, but every rule has gone out the window here in 2020. So it's your senior year, but it's also your fourth year. Have you given any thought yet to the idea that there could be a fifth year of college football? Should that be something you're interested in next year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm trying to make sure I maximize my opportunities, man. If that means playing some more ball before I take my next step and for the next chapter of my life, then it means that's what I need to do. So, I mean, at the end of the day right now, I'm just focusing on making sure I can finish the season strong before I make any decisions. I'm not really focusing on anything like that right now. That is gonna really tell itself what needs to happen when I get to that point.
How strange of that is, I guess, a decision that you even have to make. I mean, you must have been of the mindset when last season ended, all right, senior year, we got to attack this and make sure the last year's the best one. And now it's kind of a whole different thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, it's just a blessing for everybody in that position. You know, a lot of guys don't get the opportunity to make sure that they can play a fifth year. So, I mean, with that being said, I'm just making sure I'm blessed, and I'm just making sure that I'm just gonna keep working at my craft every single day.
It's a decision for another day. There's still 5 games left in this season. And let's wrap up with that, Nykeim. You guys come out of the Clemson game, I'd say feeling better, but you'd feel a lot better with a win. And now it's Wake Forest this week. How do you turn the positive steps you guys took in the Clemson game into the win you want here this week against Wake Forest?
Oh, it's just about mentality. I mean, our mentality was to make sure we played a great game against the #1 team in the country, and I feel like we played solid. So with that being said, knowing what we can play and at the level that we can play, we just got to make sure we just focusing up in practice and doing every single detail correctly, you know what I'm saying, when we getting our job done in practice. So with that being said, we just got to make sure we just keep moving forward and working hard so we can get the job done on Saturday.
All right, Nykeim, sounds good. Hope you guys take that same mentality on the field this week and enjoy it against the Demon Deacons.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.